Today I'll be doing an unboxing, setup and showcase of the newly released Retro Shooter Pandora Box. There'll be multiple links in the description of this video relating to the console. As you can see, the console is packaged extremely well. Now, I purchased this console on the 28th of August 2023, which was shipped from China. I was provided with constant up-to-date shipping details online, and when I did contact a FedEx customer service officer to make any inquiries, they were extremely helpful in answering all my questions. Now, this package arrived on the 8th of September 2023 and was shipped to Australia within a reasonably remote part of the country, being the Northern Territory. So in total, from the time of the purchase to the time of delivery, it was a total of 12 days, which in all honesty is very good considering the status quo for deliveries in this part of the country. Now, before I get into the nitty-gritty regarding the console and the background, my overall experience, let's get straight into the unboxing. So there you have it, the Retro Shooter Pandora Box. Now, let's get this bad boy open. Okay, I'll put this right here. Oh, awesome. I'll just put this up there, I'll bring it a little bit closer. So you can see, that looks absolutely amazing. So I'll just keep this. I'll just keep that there while I just talk a bit further on the device. So look, now just a quick rundown regarding my experience in ordering this light gun package to Australia. I first learnt about the Retro Shooter through some YouTube videos and Facebook threads regarding this newly released product. There wasn't too much in terms of actual customer experiences, and what was out there was mainly from the actual creators and manufacturers. This is manufactured in China, from my understanding. It's through a joint effort with, I think it's a Canadian family or Canadian business. I could be wrong. It'll all be on the website. But yeah, the stuff that was out there showcasing it was from the creators and the manufacturers. So understandably, you can appreciate in the infancy the underlying buyer hesitation. However, over the coming weeks, customer videos and showcases slowly filtered out there with some mainstream content creators within the gaming community releasing some really thorough and detailed reviews on this device. Now, from what I saw, my interests were piqued, and quote unquote, I decided to pull the trigger and I ordered one for myself. So look, ordering it, I jumped online to retroshooter.com. That's retroshooter.com, and again, the links will be down in the description, and simply navigated through the site. Now, in my opinion, it's a very well laid out site, and I purchased the console. Now let's start with what this console actually is. At its core, it is a Pandora box, which, as many of you are aware, is a computer gaming system packed with hundreds of old school titles, ranging from the Nintendo up to the PlayStation and Dreamcast. Now, I won't be doing a detailed review regarding the specs of the device, as the product's website provides a very thorough preview and explanation of the console. What I would strongly encourage people to have a look at on the official site, in particular, is the back story link, which I found very transparent and well laid out. It's exactly what it is. It's a backstory, a very succinct overview regarding the backstory of the device, with a few cool pictures and videos regarding the internal workings of the light guns in particular. This console basically is a small little computer running off the Android system, which allows you to connect it to your TV, your monitor, connect the provided light guns, sensors, foot pedals and controllers, and start playing games with considerable amount of ease. So there's 3 types of packages you can purchase when buying this console. Okay, now those 3 packages is basically, well, it's the Basic Shooter Pro, which is the entry level. That's the basic package. The mid tier is the Retro Shooter Gold, and the top tier premium package is the Arcade Shooter Platinum. Now, all 3 of those packages come with the Retro Shooter console, 2 light guns, 2 infrared sensors, and 2 foot pedals. Okay, so that's with all of those packages, and I'll explain the difference between all 3. So what this is here, this is the Basic Shooter Pro entry level package, and it's consisting of all those items I've just mentioned. Now, what's missing in this are the controllers to play games, your hand controllers and arcade controllers and whatnot. Now, I've reached out to the Retro Shooter support team. It was Dominic, I believe it was, that email correspondent, and confirmed that you can use third-party joysticks and controllers with the device. I haven't done that yet, but there is that capability anyway. My main reason for buying this and the basic model is for the light guns and the light gun games, and I'll explain a bit further in terms of what you can do with these guns in terms of PC use as well. But that's not to say that I still am not going to be playing the games that come with the Pandora box as well. I just hook up one of my third-party controllers and go from there. So again, this is the Basic Shooter Pro. Has all the items specifically for the light gun to use with the Pandora box, but the box included with the Pro still has all the other games in terms of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and whatnot. Now, the mid-tier, which is the Retro Shooter Gold, and that's the step up from this. It comes with everything that the basic model comes, but what it also comes with, it comes with 2 third-party PlayStation controllers and 2 third-party Nintendo Entertainment System controllers that you can hook up and play with those games that come with the actual Pandora box console. That's mid-tier. Comes with 2 PlayStation and 2 NES controllers. Now, if you bump up to the premium, and that's the Duck's Nuts, the top tier, it basically comes with everything I've just said. In the mid-tier, comes with everything that you need for your guns. It comes with 2 PlayStation controllers, 2 NES controllers. But what the top tier, the Arcade Shooter Platinum, also comes with are 2 little arcade deck buttons, like you'd play the arcade machine, in the old days. So the top tier basically is everything you get in the mid tier, but you also get 2 pretty nice and robust arcade decks that you can play on there as well. Now, aside from everything you can get in those packages, what Retro Shooter also sell online is an extension hub. And what that extension hub allows you to do is to use these guns with a PC. So you can basically hook them up like you would your aim track, or your Sindons, your gun for IRs, whatever you got out there to your PC. And with a bit of configuring, and I think it's pretty straightforward, you can use these bad boys on your PC games, and it works just like a mouse. Now that's something I'll save for a future video. I'll do a full tutorial in terms of that, and a showcase as well, to show you what exactly these guns are capable of. Before I get into unpacking it, I'll just confirm the price. So for me, to purchase the basic model, okay, so that's the Basic Shooter Pro, inclusive of shipping from China to the Northern Territory in Australia, which FedEx classes remote. Keeping in mind, I've also purchased the PC extension hub, so I can use these with a PC. So I've purchased the PC extension hub, and I've purchased the basic Shooter Pro, all up in Australian dollars. That cost me $555. Now, pretty pricey, but when you do take into consideration what you're getting in comparison to a lot of other light guns on the market, I would say it's a justifiable expense for me to purchase two aim track light guns, which these ones here. For me to just purchase two of these ones, non-recoil, from Australia, including postage, sent to the Northern Territory, I think it cost me close to about $400. I think it was $400, give or take a little bit. And then if you're looking for the recoils, you're looking at a bit more price for that. So, I mean, for that price, you're getting two guns, you're getting foot pedals. I'm going to go through the box, I'm going to take it all out. So I would say it's a very justifiable expense. And once I get into what these guns are actually capable of and how they work, you'll see what I'm talking about. Now let's start taking some of these items out. So let's start off with, so actually it comes in two layers. So in the top here, you've got your red gun, your blue gun. They're the cords to the guns. Now they come in two parts, okay? I think part of that reason is for it's easier to get through customs around the world, but it comes with a small screwdriver, which allows you simply just put that in the front and then you screw it on, and that's it. Your guns are ready to go. These here are the sensors that you put on the TV, but I'll pull this off and I'll show you just real quickly what's underneath it. Put this down over here. Okay, so we've got everything there. And we've got a whole heap of items under here as well. So let's start from here. We've got your actual Pandora's box. You can see there, Pandora's box. This is the actual console, which you plug everything into. That allows you to play the games. All the games are inside here, your light gun games and everything. It's got all your little things on the box in terms of pedal. So these guns actually have recoil. When it's got a little motor in it. When you pull the button, it gives a bit of a kickback, and you can hold it down, and you'll see as well when I do a bit of a show on some of the games, especially the Tier 2 arcade. Yeah, they're really awesome. So this is basically the mini PC running on Android that runs everything. Okay, so we've got the Pandora's box console. You've got your power supply, your AC adapter, 12 volt, standard power supply. Now these were it comes with a little screw along with just some little screws, and that is for the guns. When you put the front on, you just screw them together nice and firm and they're ready to go. So that's in here as well. Now what this actually comes with as well, it comes with 2 foot pedals for player 1 and player 2, and just have a bit of a look at them there. I don't think I need to tell many of you what they're used for. They're pretty good. Plastic, but there's a good amount of resistance on there. And I've actually got another video which I have taken a while coming out on, but that's going to be coming out soon with the Stream Deck. The Stream Deck Elgato foot pedal, which is it's an awesome device. But anyway, I'm getting off track. This comes with 2 foot pedals as well, which you can imagine you use with Time Crisis, which comes with this console. So you get 2 of those there. And again, this all plugs into the main system. These are the IR sensors. Okay, so you get 2 of these. Okay, and then again, I'll show how these mount. They're pretty simple in terms of how they mount in the back of the top of the TVs, and they basically allow your guns to shoot the games. So you get 2 sensors, 1 for each gun. You've got, let's take this red one out. Oh, that feels very, very good, very firm. And you've got the gun. So let's a look at there. Okay. Yep. Very, very firm. Feels very snug, and that trigger is good. You've got quite a long extension. Okay. And the front of that, that's the front of that gun there. So you get a little button, you got a little D-pad or controller, some more buttons. So this is the first time I'm unboxing this, but you simply just, well, looks like you just, that's it, connect it together. That's connected together. As you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 little parts there, and that's simply where you put those little screws. 1, 2, screw, 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 and then that's done. But that feels absolutely brilliant. It's got a good little weight to it. Yeah. Nah, I rate that. That's really good. I'll get my aim track real quick. And again, I'm definitely not shitting in my aim track. I love these guns. These have served me so well. It's just different. But I think, yeah, what we've got here, see in comparison, that's what you're looking at. Sorry, I'll hold them like that, size-wise. That's your aim track. It's a little bit smaller. But you can see with your aim track, you've got your trigger, 1 button, and 2 button. And that's pretty much it. It's good enough. Whereas with this little beauty, you got your trigger, 1 button, 2 button, a directional pad. You got more buttons there. And again, this baby kicks as well. It's got a bit of recoil, and that's exactly what I'll be showing you when I set it up. And the blue gun as well. Let's have a look at it. There we go. That's the blue one. Nice grip, firm. Let's pull the front out. See, that's all good. Yep. There we go. Same thing. So that's it. You simply just, there you go. plug it in. Look at that. What I'll do actually is I'll just screw the front ends on now real quickly just to show you, well, it comes with a few extras as well by the looks of it, just to show you how it works. So there's the one screw. We'll do this gun first. You got your little hole there. Got your screw. Let's screw them on. Look at that. Nice and firm, is on. Let's see how long it takes to get both of those on. Let's get another 3 screws. There we go. Screw them on. Nice and firm. Turn them over. Another screw. Screw them on. This screwdriver is quite good actually. I'll keep this for my kit. And last one. Now that only took a few minutes and that's ready to go now. That's on, it's screwed firm, all screwed on, ready to go. I won't bother with the other gun at this point in time. The only other item that I haven't shown is, so it comes with your HDMI cable. The only other item it comes with is, this is the extension hub. This is the Firebase extension hub, which basically allows you to connect this up to your PC. So this was the extra item that I purchased. The extra item I purchased with the gun. Now, I see on here it says vibration, power, USB, 1-player, foot pedal, 1-player, 2-player, foot pedal, and USB vibration power. I am assuming that is for the light gun. That's the PC. I'm assuming that is the extra, gun recoil. Okay, yep, that's the PC. That's the PC for the PC. The main Pandora's box, it has the pedal input, gun recoil, and pedal for 1 and 2. And for the light gun, it's got all the connections on there. This is basically same thing. Well, not really, but this is your connection for your PC. That's the extra item that I purchased. And you basically plug your light guns through there. This is something I'll show in future in terms of the PC one. But there you go, there's a little quick unboxing in terms of the Retro Shooter. And I really dig those guns. They just feel great. So what I'll do now is I'll go into my spare room. It's a little test area on an old TV, pretty big, very old TV. Hook it all up. Let's give it a go. Okay, so here we are now in my state-of-the-art gaming room. Sorry for the mess. And I'll take you through a real-time setup. I'll just show you how quick it is for the box to be set up with the TV. So this is an old, very, very old TV. You would have seen it in one of my previous tutorials in relation to the Wii light guns in the corner there. I use those with the Raspberry Pi, and there was a light gun tutorial. I think it was Batacera or RetroPie. But yeah, I just use this to tinker around with my game stuff and just see how it goes. So I've unpacked everything from the box and I've just laid it out. It's not connected yet. I'm going to do that in real time just to show you the processes involved. So again, you've got the foot pedals. Okay, you've got player 1 gun, and it's got a splits off into 2 chords. Player 2 gun, the same, the chord. You've got the sensor box with the HDMI. So let's go ahead and put this together in real time. Okay, so you've got the Pandora's box, and you've got all the instructions in terms of the pedals, the gun recoil pedal, and there's also connections in the back. As you can see there, you've got your light gun, and it actually tells you on the back here 2 USB 1, USB 2, USB 3. So let's start off by just plugging in the pedals. Just a single cord, and that would go into pedal 1 for 1 player. Simple. The other pedal, pedal 2 for 2 player. Now I've done a bit of a further research. Obviously, this game comes with 2 Time Crisis variants. It's the PlayStation version of Time Crisis and Project Titan, which is the follow-up. Now they're 1 players, and you only really need 1 pedal. But what these pedals actually can be used for as well in games, and a myriad of other games, you can use them to reload amongst other things as well. So you can use them with a whole heap of other games as well. You can just test them out. So we've got the pedals, as you can see. Both pedals plugged into the Pandora box. Now I've already got the HDMI cable in there, running to the back of the TV, and I've already got the 12 volt DC power connected to the wall, so that's quite simple. Okay, now let's plug in the guns. So like I've said before, you've got player 1 gun, and the dip switches at the bottom dictates that. So at the bottom of the gun, with the 3 pushed over to the, well, it's my right, that is going to dictate that gun as player 1. And on player, well, the red one, as you can see, the top is clicked over to the left. That will then dictate that gun as player 2. I think they'll come with 1 setup as player 1, player 2, but this is as simple as that. You turn it off, unplug it, 3 switches to the right, that'll be player 1, and once you have 1 there clicked to the, well, from my vantage point to the left, the top, that'll be player 2. But that's all in the manual. So let's connect player 1 gun. So the other end of it, you got 2 cords, USB, and then this cord here is for the power for the jolt, okay, for the vibration. So with here, the USB cable plugs into the back where it says USB 1. And I'll just do that quickly. So just like that. Just bear with me, I'm doing it one-handed. So that's player 1, USB 1. And the front, where it says gun recoil, right there. That's where you plug this sucker in. There you go. Now player 1, it's all connected. Plugged into the device at the back, and the power for the recoil when it's turned on, and I'll show you that. Let's do the same for player 2. So player 2 gun, 2 cords. Now we've got the front, gun recoil. Let's plug that in. And then at the back, you've got USB 2. So player 2 USB 2, player 1 USB 1, and then that's the gun recoil power for number 2. Run a gun recoil for number 1. And then that's plugged in. So we've got the 2 pedals, we've got the 2 guns, all plugged into the device. HDMI, power. Now the only other thing is to plug these bad boys in. These are the IR sensors. So the way this works is you get a USB-C double-ended adapter. So you'll get this device. There's a 3rd slot in the back of this machine, right there. Now let's go ahead and plug that in. Now this basically splits off into 2. Okay, I'll try to just move this here. Okay, this is to give you a little bit of a better understanding. Okay, so at the rear of the device, you've got this USB-C with 2 cords. Now those 2 cords split off, and then they plug into your IR sensors separately. Okay? They plug into your IR sensors separately. So at the back, there's 2 little USB-C connections. You plug one in there, and on the other, you plug it in there. From the back of the box, plugs in, and all you have to do is mount those to the top. Now I'll do that now in real time, but to give you a quick explanation, the way these work is that's your power button, or your on and off. So once it's plugged in the top, you turn it on and off. The way these work is, so as you can see, these have a bit of a groove right there. Now that blue tack I've just put on, it just secures it a bit better. So just give you a quick demo. You place the IR sensor like so, and the groove stops it from falling. And then those 2 clamps at the back, you can adjust them and it'll sit like such. They're actually pretty good. So you can adjust those clamps, that little groove holds it in place. You've got the cord plugged into the back of the machine, and then that's it. I put blue tack underneath to secure it down, and you just got to do the same with the other. So that's just a quick example. I'm going to put the phone down. I'm going to just quickly put those 2 IR sensors on, and then we'll look at getting at some gameplay. So as you can see, that was just a slow setup. Didn't take long at all. Didn't take long at all, and that was with me walking through, holding the phone with one hand, trying to plug it in. That setup is very, very simple. So again, an overview, foot pedal, they're both plugged in right to there, where you got your pedals, pedal. You got your player 1 gun, which branches off into 2, USB 1 and plugs in the back, the power for the rumble or jolt to the front, player 2 gun, branches off with the 2, plugs into the back, and then the front, HDMI, power, and then as you've just seen, this branches off into 2 cords to the IR sensors, one on the left, one on the right. Now I've seen a whole heap of videos and you're meant to put them to the side and whatnot. There's a whole heap of things that come into play. I just find when they're around there, they work quite well, but you can just play with that yourself. So the only thing, like anything, there's a bit of a cord mess, as you can see, a bit of a jungle there, but that's something once you have this set up, you can get cable ties and you can fix that up. You can fix that up quite well. So there you have it. That's just a very quick rundown in regards to the process of setting up this system. That's pretty much all you have to do. I've just taken it out of the box, I've placed it all there, and you've seen me in real time just connect that all up. Very simple, very plug and play, okay? And well, let's move into turning the device on, and I'll give you a bit of an example in terms of the guns and what they can do. Let's turn on my state-of-the-art TV. Leave that. Now to turn it on and off, once you do that, those guns will light up and turn on. So as I indicated, this is a Pandora box. What version and what games it comes with is all on the manual, but it's got a really good selection and a light gun category selection itself. So you're seeing now this game system boot up from real time. Now, to give you a quick demo in relation to these guns, I'll grab one. Now this is to give you an example of the calibration and the recoil and whatnot. So before I do that, right underneath this device is how you access the menu. So all you have to do is just lift the device up. You got a little pinhole there. You can just use like a SIM card extractor or whatnot, something like a pin, and you just got to fiddle around until you can poke it. Once you do that, a menu option will come up. Some awesome music starts. I don't know how to shut that off, but I'm sure I'll find a way. It comes with the device. Now, on your gun, I'll turn that down actually. On your gun, you got your trigger, you got your 2 buttons on the side, you got a directional pad, and you got another button there. So what we'll do is we'll go down to light gun config, and I'll give you an example of the gun itself. So when you go to light gun test, okay, so that's now player 1 gun. And on the left you got player 1, and then that's player 2, and you got player 2. Now here's an example of the recoil and the gun in action. So that video is probably not doing it justice, but that just feels absolutely incredible. You're getting a really decent kickback. I can feel in the motor in there. That's just perfect. That just is so responsive. So as you can see on the test options here, testing all the buttons, the trigger, you've got the directional pad, it's all good, buttons, and you've got to reload. And so that does the same. If you pull the trigger, player 2, reload, got your buttons. Okay, so it's all working well. So a little trick with these machines, these guns, if you want to turn off, so when you hold the trigger down, it has automatic. If you hold this little side button down for 2 secs, 1, 2, it'll shut that off and it'll just be a one shot. Turn it back on, press for 2 seconds. Back into auto. There's also another button, calibration, to shut it off altogether, but that defeats the purpose. You buy these guns for the recoil, so I'm not going to worry about that. So anyway, let's get into this. So that's just the option to get in to just test to see all the buttons are working, and as you can see, that's working quite well. And then let's get out of this. Let's go down to, so you can choose to have the crosshairs on or off in your games. I like them on. And let's go down to calibration. And to get through everything here, you just press this trigger and then you navigate with that. So as you can see, this is player 1 and it's tracking, but let's go ahead and just do a calibration in real time. And that's by pressing this button. Let's get a bit of distance. As you can see now, that's tracking. That's tracking very well. Let's do the same with player 2 gun. As you can see, that's tracking very well. So with your menu, you can go down. There's a whole heap of things you can set up in terms of like scan lines, but I'm not going to worry about any of that. You can have a look at the menu. So let's go down, we'll save and exit. And you're back into your game. So you've got a whole heap of games there, but to go to the light gun specific menu, you basically hold these 2 buttons down on the side. There you go. And then it allows you to go through. You can go into light guns. And you've got your whole specific collection in terms of gun games. Now, oh look, we'll go through them right now in real time, actually. So you've got pages, you've got 9 pages, and on each page you've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. Let's actually go through them and just see what exactly is on this device. So from the top, and I won't go through the names, but we'll start off at confidential mission. So this is just a real-time example of every gun game that's on here, and I'll go down. So we're in the Dreamcast and into PlayStation now. Got your point blank. Lethal Enforcers, Steel Gunner. Really good selection here actually. Some awesome old school classics. So we're on to page 5 now. Page 6, Aliens 3 The Gun, one of my favourite games. Lethal Justice, all-time classic, Terminator. Page 7. Page 8. Like I said, an awesome collection of games. So that's a full example of every game that this comes with in terms of the light guns. So yeah guys, let's get into some gameplay. But before I do, again, sorry for a bit of the shakiness, trying to videotape and show you. That's just a very quick example of the 2 pedals, the box, the guns, the power, the HDMI, the IR sensors, all plugged up, and just the process in relation to getting that ready. And firing up the unit, as you saw, navigating to the menu by pushing the bottom menu button with a bit of a key or whatnot, and then you get into the calibration once you get into your gun games. And I'll just show you as well. Let's just get into one and I'll give you an example of how to access the menu. So let's just go into Maze of the Kings. So some of these games, in games, you can save, and you can do a whole heap of other stuff. You can change your ratio. And it's basically just those 2 buttons there. That's the goal, that's the key in relation to exiting games and going into games and yeah, what you want to do. Doesn't take too long to load. Some games are a bit longer than others. Okay, once you're in, you press these 2 buttons and it'll bring up your menu. Now you can go down, you can add it as a favorite, you can save. Some games allow you to save process. You can recalibrate the crosshairs of the gun. You can put the crosshairs off and on, and what that means is just that little circle that you see moving around the reticle, it'll disappear. You can change your aspect ratio and you can exit game. So let's get into some gameplay. Go to a good old faithful game, Terminator. There we go. Judgment Day. So get the recoils happening.
Excellent. Excellent. Excellent.
Side button for your missiles. If you want, hold the side button down for 2 seconds, it'll turn the auto off, and you just hit the 1 shot. It'll stop recoil. There's another option there to shut it off altogether, but I am interested in that. These guns are absolutely remarkable. So I haven't played around too much, but you hold your two buttons there, it'll bring up a menu. And in that menu you can go and add it to your favourites. There's a whole heap of stuff. You can change the scaling. You can exit the game. Let's try another game. What else is there? Time Crisis. So in this version, it uses the PlayStation Time Crisis, I believe. I think you've got Time Crisis 1 and it's got Time Crisis Project Titan. Let's find it. Faster. Hang on a second. No, I'm out of the gun games. So I'm just going to press these two buttons. Go back to the light guns, and there we go. Now we're in the light gun aiming menu. And here we go, Time Crisis. So let's give it a go. We're going to use the pedal. Tracking beautifully.
Action! Reload!
You can also use the button on the side if you don't want to use the pedal.
Reload! Fire! Action!
Some games give you the option to save progress. We'll get out of that. I mean, the rapid fire goes, but you only have one shot, but it's pretty cool still. Turn it off. And the tracking on this is awesome. It is really, really good. It's better than the aim track. In all honesty, it's better than the aim track. Better than the Wii. And the kickback this gives is just, it's perfect. It's a good amount. It's not as much as you have from the old school arcade guns, but it's good enough. I mean, that's just brilliant. Just very, very responsive. Game. We'll give a few more games a go. What else is there? Terminator. Aliens, let's give Aliens a go. We'll do the 2-gun recoil. And just again, just going to hold that up there. Brilliant. Tracking good. One more game. We have one more game to go. What have we got? Here we go. Good old lethal enforcers. With this game, I think it was an update that's recently happened. To reload with this and some of the others, you can just point out of the screen and it'll reload for you. But alternatively, you can press the reload button. You can press the foot pedal, that'll reload as well. I think we'll call it quits. So yeah, as you can see, I don't know about you, but I think honestly, for 500, well, from an Aussie standpoint, $550, and that's including the PC adapter, which again, so these guns, basically the other end that breaks off into two, they plug into the PC adapter, and then you can use these guns basically on your PC with your PC games. And I'm going to be showing a separate video for that. But for what this costs, I think that this is a step in the right direction in relation to light gun games and the capabilities, and it just gives everyone the opportunity to enjoy guns with recoil, awesome, great tracking, just in a very good package. Like I said, the engagement I've had with the Retro Shooter, the company, has been outstanding. The tracking, I've had no issues in terms of the product or anything like that. But yeah, absolutely brilliant product. Strongly recommend. All the links will be in my description in terms of where you can get it. So I'd strongly recommend you guys to go ahead and get one. Okay, so final thoughts. Look, I highly rate this console. It's simple to use. It's got an easy setup and it's reasonably straightforward. In terms of the guns themselves, I would deem them of being high quality. They've got a decent recoil motor. They feel solid in your hands. They feel firm, and the tracking's on point. Look, I own an aim track and the Wii, like I've said previously, and I've seen a lot of reviews on other guns like the Sinden and Gun for IR. what I can say is that these retro shooter guns are better than the Wii and Aim Track in terms of the tracking by far. Now, look, I'd even go for, even though I don't own the other guns, I'd even go as far to say that, you know, these retro shooter guns, with what I've seen, they wouldn't be too far off the gun for IR and the Sinden. And, you know, you got to take into consideration the configuration required with some of the other guns that I mentioned. You know, the Sinden's got a big, thick white border around the screen in order to use it. It's a deal breaker for some, not for others. For me, I'm not too hot on the big white border. Look, I reckon people out there, you know, there is a large portion out there that generally, you know, are a bit spoiled. They set their expectations quite high. We never in the community used to have devices like this available. You know, we never used to have light guns with a simple setup, just, you know, easy to purchase. Take into consideration the costs and associated setup required and some of the other products that are out there. You know, this device, it's readily available, and considering what it's capable of in terms of tracking and the recoil, you know, in my opinion, it's high quality and it's good in my book. Look, one of the things to mention is that with anything, there's always going to be a few teething issues. Now, for the large part, all the games, including light gun games that are on this product, they work well. They go good. There's a large selection. However, there are a few games that experience some glitching and technical issues, including the light gun games, but, you know, that's far and few between. And, you know, in particular, with a large light gun library of just awesome games, in my opinion, it's not a significant issue. You know, this is mainly associated with the Pandora Box hardware versus, you know, what's being run on it. However, with time, I'd envision this slowly improving. In terms of the cost and the shipping, now I can only give a viewpoint from an Aussie standpoint. For $550 for the package, the added extension hub to play on your PC, to be shipped from China, it's well worth the cost. You know, especially considering you're able to use these guns with the recoil on your PC. Now that just goes ahead and it opens up the playability and the replay value on these products. In fact, I'm so impressed. I'm going to go ahead and buy a second package. I'm going to have this or the other. I'm going to have one of them set up in the spare room, you know, just to play with the family. My kids love it. And I'm going to have the other one set up on the PC monitor in the PC. So I can go ahead and just, you know, start configuring and having fun with just a vast majority of games I can access through the PC, through emulators and such. Now, to talk on the company. Now, I can confirm, having a look at their website, they are a Canadian family-run business who designed the Retro Shooter in conjunction with the Pandora Box company in China. I honestly have nothing but good things to say about them. They've been very responsive in replying to my emails. Dominique, in particular, has been very prompt and thorough in her responses. You can see in their website and their Facebook, it's very well set up. You can see that the company, in my view, is vested in their customers, in the support, and in the gaming community, especially taking on board a lot of their feedback thus far. Look, to my knowledge, this is the first light gun variant from the company, and, you know, I'm very excited to see what comes out of this company in way of light guns and consoles. If this is what they can push out on their first go, then what's on the horizon is, you know, I reckon there's some good things out there, especially taking into consideration their willingness to listen to the community and their feedback. You know, it's companies and devices like this that get pushed out there, that come onto the market, that start producing. Look, it challenges other companies and people. Look, credit to others and, you know, companies that have distributed, you know, certain packages and light gun games and technology and whatnot. You know, where it gives us as the gaming community options to play our old school games, you know, on PCs and the such. However, competition is good. In my opinion, it drives productivity, and at the end of the day, the consumer generally comes on top. The Retro Shooter Pandora Box package, in my view, is a massive step forward in light gun gaming. Look, on that note, I reckon I'll leave it right there. All the links to purchase the device, along with some other links to the websites, Facebook, are in the description below. Now, again, I have a few videos dropping in the near future. One being a tutorial and showcase of this actual product, the Retro Shooter guns configured on a PC, playing PC games. That's one to look out for. I've also got a Stream Deck pedal light gun game tutorial and showcase that I'm partway through with the old Time Crisis games. And one in particular that I'm looking at doing is also a video associated with a neat little Bluetooth controller or controllers that you can easily get out there, with integration of the Joy-to-Key and Auto Hotkey programs, if you haven't heard of them, and the ability to play certain light gun games that require specific controls. Now, guys, I just push these videos out there, and then when I get a bit of time, I'm in no way an expert. I do it for the love of gaming and certain other things in terms of using like hunting devices and whatnot. So you know what, I just hope you get something out of it. I'll try to push these out there when I can. At the end of the day, my goal, like I say in the description of my video, is just to give people out there something to pass their time and watch. And also too, if anyone out there gets anything out of these videos, or they turn around and go, oh look, that's an awesome product, I'm going to go get one for myself, well then I take something away from that's something that I like doing. So guys, again, I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to like and subscribe. Don't feel obligated, but feel free to go ahead and do so, and peace out.